Who is the biggest star in boxing? Tank Davis. And joining the lead of the game is Miami legend, hip-hop star, influencer Ruby Ray.
And the talent difference, the experience difference, we understand all of that. But the size, the pure, and we understand small guys can beat big guys. We just saw Crawford do it to Canelo.
I thought it was 190. Dean, that's bad. Because you know what that tells me? That tells me that even he recognizes that he's too big for him. Yes. He recognizes that he's too big for him.
Face-off between Jake Paul and Gervonta Tank Davis on Netflix, Uncut, instantly became a viral moment. The tension in the room was thick as Tank suddenly shoved Jake during their stare-down, showing that this fight carried more emotion than simple promotion. Both men exchanged heated words right after, their faces a mix of confidence and irritation. Many fans were stunned by how small Tank looked standing next to Jake, with some calling the size difference unreal, yet others argued that size alone doesn't win fights, because in boxing, skill, precision, and timing often outweigh physical advantages.
At the end of the day, I gave this little guy an opportunity. He should be thanking me. I'm paying him. I'm his boss. He reports to me, and I'm going to fucking son him on November 14th. So fuck you, little man.
You pay me? Are you paying me?
Yeah.
100%? 100%. Facts?
Correct.
Yes? Correct?
Correct. I'm your daddy.
Veteran boxing trainer and commentator Teddy Atlas dissected the face-off, immediately drawing attention to the massive size gap between the two. He called the difference not just noticeable, but overwhelming, saying Jake towered over Tank so much that he'd need a ladder to reach his chin. Atlas acknowledged that boxing is built on timing, skill, and willpower, but insisted that extreme physical disparities can't be ignored. He compared it to when Canelo Alvarez moved up to face Terence Crawford, noting that even though they were from different divisions, their physiques still matched naturally. In this case, however, Atlas said the imbalance was far too large for fair competition. He added that while Davis's explosiveness could surprise anyone, going up against a naturally bigger, stronger Jake Paul would be an uphill battle from the start.
Things, right? They should also have like the size of the ring, the size of the glove, all that stuff. Particulars should be in the contract, but I would probably look for one thing that is not the common thing to have in a contract if I'm Tank. A ladder. A ladder. Can I get a ladder? Somebody? You know what I mean? Hey, look, if he hits him on the chin the way he can punch, Jake might be doing a dance. You know what I mean? Not voluntarily either. But we'll get into that more later. The thing that I'm talking about right here is what you said. It was stark. The size difference was really, you couldn't ignore it. We understand the talent difference, the experience difference. We understand all of that. But the size, the pure, and we understand small guys can beat big guys. We just saw Crawford do it to Canelo, but a little different. The size difference was, it was eye-catching, jaw-dropping, and it made me think. And I'm gonna ask Richie, our man here who's doing all the taping, who does such a marvelous job. I'm gonna ask him because I know he's an expert in this area. But it reminded me of one of the Rocky movies where they had the face where they did the wrestling thing with Rocky and Hulk Hogan, AKA Thunder Lips. He was Thunder Lips back there. And I thought I had it right, and it was confirmed to me. It's Rocky III.
Respected boxing coach Greg Hackett shared a contrasting view, expressing full confidence in Gervonta Davis's mentality. According to Hackett, Tank isn't easily distracted by the media noise or Jake Paul's promotional antics. He knows what he wants and how to get it, Hackett said. Reports from inside Tank's camp reveal he's been laser-focused during training, sparring intensely and pushing himself beyond his usual limits. Those close to him describe a man on a mission. determined to silence critics and prove that skill and experience will always outshine hype.
It's something for you new to do, try to keep you fresh and this and that, keep your name hot. You got to stay in the algorithms. It's just a lot of pressure on fighters. And I feel like Tank being at, what is he, 30 years old? And you got kids. See, what people forget about is it come a time in a man's life where he just want to slow down. You know what I'm saying? We can't all run around like we used to back in the day. I mean, that's tough to do. Sometimes you just want to sit down, enjoy your fruits. And I feel like that could be what he going through. He want to just enjoy the fruits of his labor and enjoy life. And people don't want to hear that because they feel like you got more work to do. But it's his life.
Observers at recent media events echoed this sentiment, noting how composed and unbothered Davis appeared. Calm but razor-focused, he carried himself like someone who fully understands the stakes. For Tank, this fight represents more than fame or money. It's about sending a message. A victory here would prove that he can perform under any spotlight, on any platform, against anyone. Beyond the paycheck, it's about pride and legacy, showing that true boxing talent can still dominate in an era driven by social media fame and viral attention.
In the press conference, and you can tell, you can just look at him and tell, like, no, this dude he's gonna get this money for sure, because there's so much money out there to be had. But Jake Paul better be not playing around, man. Not get cute, not play any games, don't hit him in the back of the head, don't rabbit punch him, don't do any of that stuff, man, because Mike Tyson, first of all, Mike Tyson, a lot of people think Mike Tyson was pulling punches on Jake Paul, and a lot of people think that Anderson Silva was pulling punches on him too. You're not gonna have a little Gervonta out there pulling punches on you, man, if you're out there playing games. So, I don't like the fight at all. However, as far as it being an entertaining situation, I almost guarantee you that fight itself is going to be entertaining. That it's going to be something that you look at and you're going to say, man, everybody's going to watch it. Everybody's going to want to know what happens in it. But at the same time, it's kind of like what people think, when you see a car crash, like you're driving down the road and all of a sudden the traffic gets heavy and you're like, man, I'm going to be in traffic for a long time. And then you drive forward a little bit and then you see, oh man, this is some accident on the other side of the road and everybody just slowing down to watch. That's the type of entertainment that you can expect from this fight between Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul.
Former heavyweight contender Eddie Chambers. Now a trainer offered a more balanced take. He reminded fans that boxing history is filled with smaller fighters toppling larger opponents. According to Chambers, size is only one factor. What truly decides fights is timing, intelligence, and discipline. He pointed out that Jake's height and reach might give him an early edge, but Tank's explosive movement and ring IQ could quickly erase that gap. Chambers stressed that fights aren't won by measurements but by execution under pressure. He concluded that while Jake's physical advantage is clear, Davis's precision and instinct could still make him the more dangerous fighter once the bell rings.
That something like this can happen, but this is social media. This is what is created. There's a lane that Jake Paul has created. Honestly, I'm not mad at him for it. He's gotten a lot of fighters and, actual fighters some shine. It also has done for women's boxing a lot. So I'm not mad at him for what he's been in boxing and what he's created. This is a little crazy right here. This is a little crazy. And a lot of people will say, Tank is too small. Let me tell you something. Anybody that gets in the ring with Tank that is not a damn dinosaur is going to feel something from him. And it ain't going to be easy to hit him. Got boxing IQ. He may not sound like an intellectual guy when you hear him talk, but he knows the ring inside and out. So there's nothing that Jake Paul can do aside from make it extremely ugly by grabbing him and probably trying to throw him to the ground. I don't know what else, bite him. I don't know, but I mean, the skill level alone, now of course, there is a size difference, a height difference and all that, but he's just gonna struggle so much landing a shot. It's just gonna look bad. To me, this is the way I see it. It's gonna look bad. Tank is gonna be too fast. And the punch, I believe, I'm not saying it's gonna knock him out or, but he's gonna feel.
World champion and current analyst, Timothy Bradley voiced strong support for Gervonta Davis, calling this matchup easy money for Tank. Bradley argued that the gap in experience between the two is enormous. He praised Jake Paul's dedication and contribution to boxing's popularity, but emphasized that fighting Tank is an entirely different reality. Davis has spent years in the trenches, facing elite-level opposition under real championship pressure. His ring IQ, timing, and composure are on a completely different level. Bradley believes that once real punches start landing, Jake's lack of depth will be exposed, and the difference between natural-born fighters and newcomers will become painfully clear.
Yeah, you prove your innocence and say that it ain't fixed. Because check this out, Tank ain't gonna lose this fight. Hell no. Hell no. Tank ain't losing this fight. Too many hoes. Man, Jake don't have enough experience. Yeah, man, this gonna be taking candy from a baby. You know, Jake is missing the rules. See, this is what happens when you don't grow up in the game. When you don't grow up in the game, man, at a young age, this is what happens. You know, you start reading your own press clippings. That's what Jake is doing. You know, fighting this lower level competition, and now he think he the ish. Now he think he the man. He ain't the man. You kidding me? He is not the man. Oh no. Yeah, false sense of security. Now he trying to pick on small folks, right? You know, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Yeah, I'm just saying size-wise. Yeah, that's another thing, boxing one-on-one. You can't pay attention to size. Hell no, I told y'all it's the size of the heart, right? In that damn dog. It ain't the size of the damn dog, and I told y'all that, man. Yeah, it's the same thing here. And it's about the smartest dog. Tank too smart for him. Tank got too much boxing IQ for Jake, man. This gonna be easy. Easy. Like I said, man, Tank, please. Please, man. Don't do this to boxing, bro. If there's anything, man, shoot. Man, we can put together some kind of like account for you, a GoFundMe account or whatever, bro. And we can, all your fans can give you $1, bro. So that way you don't be blowing this fight. It's easy, bro. This sparring section. You know, look, I'm so confused. I don't know what the hell to call this. The circus? Just call it a circus. Yeah, just call it a damn circus. Because, you know, one minute they said, oh, this is the fight.